Okay, so a lot of you guys have been wondering what to do with the breeding trays after you place them inside your tank. So if you remember, this is the first tank for one of the first how-to videos actually, and there's not that many that are still alive, but there's a few that are alive. I'm just trying to see how long they'll live for, honestly, at this point. I've been breeding them, and I don't know, they've been alive for quite some time, but those are the original crickets from the first how-to video. Anyway, so what you're going to do, when you're ready to pull your tank, these guys are pretty much on their last legs as well. They're all going to die today. They're going to get fed to the chickens. But I've left that tray in there for about a week and a half. If you don't remember why I keep the top like this, I cut a hole in it and I use a piece of screen, like fly screen, mosquito screen. Anyway, I thought I saw some stuff moving around in there. And I put that on there, and what that does is it prevents the crickets from digging in there, because I use a large master colony. I want to keep my crickets out of there. So anyway, you're going to open this up. Now I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of little eggs. This guy right here in front of my fingertip. They're little ovular, kind of clear things. They look like poop. Anyway, what I like to do once I pull them is I like to wet the container. So you got to get a nice slow stream coming out of the sink. There we go. And I like to give it one good wetting. Now you should have been keeping it moist this whole time, so this isn't going to be too difficult. But I like to give it one good once over, so it kind of just gets moist all the way around. And the reason I do that is because I want to keep a bunch of humidity in here. So I try and keep the soil as wet as I can, because I'm going to keep it on something warm, which is going to dry the soil out from the bottom first, and it's just easier. I've had better results. Ooh, that's a little too fast. Here we go. Let it fill up again. You don't have to worry about them getting too wet, as long as they don't stay wet for a long time and it gets all moldy. I mean, obviously you don't want it this too flooded, but this is okay. You see how, let's see how I can get this here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's areas that you can tell have water and don't. And I just like to kind of see water all along the side. So back to some more water. This is probably the last time I'll do this. And you can use the spray bottle too if you want. Sometimes I use the spray bottle, but it's just faster to use the sink. Just a matter of preference. Okay, so you got it all nice and wet. Now what you want to do is you want to get some stretch tight, some plastic wrap, some saran wrap, whatever you want to call it. And what I do is I take a piece and I put it completely over it. Then you're going to break it, obviously. And you place it over. And I like to make it nice and tight underneath there. And if you want to look at it on top, it's just covered. And the reason I do that is because I want there to be humidity in here. One of the best things for eggs when they're trying to incubate and hatch is to keep them humid. So you keep them humid, and they work a little better. Now I've been talking this whole time about sweater boxes, and maybe some of you don't know what those are, but they're just little boxes like this. Smaller ones, not a large tub, just smaller. And I like to use these for hatching. This is a shitty video, sorry. Anyway, this will be the new spot for this guy, right here. Put this down here. Get my eggs. Put them in the back. Try and figure out why this is popped up. Covered up the lid, like so, and leave it. I have my heating pad on medium heat, because we're coming out of summertime. In the wintertime I like to use high. You can do whatever you'd like, but that's pretty much it. Take them out of the container, get them nice and wet, cover them in saran wrap, cover this up. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to check it once a day or so. You're going to look inside. What you want to see is you want to see a bunch of condensation starting to build up. And you can just go ahead and, when you see that, take the plastic off, wipe the condensation off. You want to make sure there's no condensation inside where that can touch them, but it's good to see it because you know that it's humid in there. And it's really tricky once they start hatching to keep a good amount of condensation inside without killing them. You always lose a couple because they just drown in these little bubbles of water. It's quite unbelievable. Anywho, that's how you do it. Hope it helps.